Regency concierge at this necklace.
Call 911! It's July 25th, 2025! Athens Centers, 25D! Help me! Call 911! It's Maria Athens! Agape! Kalamata Happy! Athens! And Lil Randall Centers! Help me! Help me! F*** you, and you are all so You know, I'm doing a lot better. Obviously, I've gained weight, so this is shorter. And I got eyeliner, so I'm looking more like myself. It's not the expensive kind from the designer department stores. They did a lot to me, right? A Lancome one, I guess. They don't have it in any store, and only you can order it. They're sold out with plastic, which would make no sense because of the inventory. And I came here not on a whim, on a night. And I interviewed some good and really gross men, and there was one good one, I think, and I had emailed the executive director, how much does she make week, hour, salary? And there's good US vets. How's my ex-fiance? Well, our mayor right here in Las Vegas, or Clark County, before she was mayor, I think, was instrumental in founding a VA hospital, but she wanted or didn't want her name on it. What happened to all of our good blood, DNA, and the whole thing? Thank you for your service. Happy, walk for mommy. Agape standing up in her stroller. What? At least Happy, Athens, the only thing he knew was Scott Centers and his richer team with remotes and everything. He wouldn't go to the bathroom usually outside. I'd always get him home. Oh, let me call Scott Centers. He's walking better. What were they doing to my little baby boy his entire life almost? I'm not blaming my little husky where we got him. It's only time, but it's also good time too, right? I am on my 6th month of a healthy menstrual cycle after a couple of years. And I did run from police marshals because I was scared. And I think vintage Vegas, I was in there. They said it was fine. This was in December, right? And then all of this went down on Casino Center and Imperial. And there was a little glass mini tea set of Cabbage Patch Kids. I left, and then police marshals, with respect, as we know, I thought they were the same. They ran my name. I only have a warning trespass at Haven Animal, where Dr. Lisa Morrow, with all 3 of my animals and everything they did to them, right? And they told me with respect, there was one, it doesn't matter, it's 1 or 2 female police officers, right? And I Googled it, and they have a lot of, I think, square mileages of parks and everything. They know who I am, Agape, Happy, Kalamata and Lil Randall. And I had my period, and I had on a maxi pad, and I was really nervous, and I peed like water, and I was crying about Scott Centers all the way up until, well, the stratosphere, and that's the last time. Oh, I'm such a tough, masculine bitch. Sure. There's just so much to say about, well, our Las Vegas Science and Natural History Museum. Last time I went in there to see one of my ex-sponsors, Donna R., they said, because I said, you know, I didn't know, I was still confused. Would they like an interview at a later time? They said they had their own journalist, if you can believe it, and no one's a journalist like me, we know. And some of my coworkers, not right now, I'm on health and wellness break still, 10 and a half months later, I'm fine, but Maria Centers isn't. So, you know, someone had suggested her as a sponsor at Resolutions who worked there. She complained about it the whole time. And she's the one who loves, well, African-American men, but then said, this place is where the Mississippi meets the West, where there's a lot of truth in that. Now, I realized how segregated Las Vegas was going to AA meetings, because if I'm an urban person, I like it more. Now, I also love rural environments. Let's not bring Alaska into this, or my dad's homeland or anything, or that's pretty much it, or Virginia. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, I go in here, and this sponsor met me religiously once a week. Once a week, I went to her house. I forgot, and she works in here. And then she touched my cheek when I was in here. Then I was at my last meeting ever. It was a women's meeting. I hated it. Thursday night at the Thai Club, Take It Easy, it's a nonprofit. She had told me at the time, my first year sobriety, if I didn't go and follow directions, I was something like bound to drink again. No, I wasn't. She was in there. I was just looking for my friend. Her initials are K-E. And her hair was all coiffed darker red, like a bob curled. Okay, and I didn't tell her all of my secrets. Now, I did confide because I was really scared because people getting raped under the influence, and I think that happened to me. She's a police officer, not in Nevada. And when Agape, I was scared Agape was going to die. This one tells me, because she does taxidermy for here, but not licensed or trained or something, that she could bury Agape in her yard and then dig up her bones later. And then I think there's so much, and her husband was a total perv and all this stuff, and he's from the UK too, with the woman's name. And there's good people that work in these ambulances. It's not funny. There's good people that work in there. You know, there's good people that work in there, and they're not scaring me. And it's not anyone's fault, but hashtag Vegas strong. I read that's the largest mass shooting in our country to date. There's so much more. You just can't make it up. So there's this place here called Samaritan House. And of course, at the Boulevard Inn, they stole a bunch of money from me. Agape and I stayed in the afterlife one night. They had plenty of drugs in there and everything. It was so disgusting. And the bedding and everything, right? And it was month to month. They said I had an eviction. I gave more deposit. Then they wouldn't give me my money back. I tried to prorate it for one night. I was not sleeping, looking through the window and smoking more cigarettes. There was marijuana and other like crystalline substances, and it was such a fire hazard. I didn't sleep at all, and I was much skinnier. When was it? September, I think, of last year, or October. Then they said, September, I think. I had to wait until Thanksgiving Eve. I went in there, and they said I stole the bedding of the Boulevard Inn. Now, I was sentimental because I didn't know where to go. It was month to month, and it has the same architecture of American Addiction Center's Desert Hope Resolutions. And then, of course, there's this place down here called the Samaritan House. So I would go there on Friday nights sometimes, and some gross ex-sponsor told me about it. And I heard that women go there because they want to F felons and all this stuff. And I don't know about this stuff. I'm not going to say anything, right? I'm not going to say anything. And then you can go there, and then there's all these frauds in AA that act like they're hard and the whole thing. And they never called on me. Now, I'm not an attention seeker, and then, like, I don't know, white trash women would give me bad looks. Yeah, okay. They didn't know who I was, right? Right, sure. Everybody wants to be on the TV, good and bad, right? Not really. They're quiet now. We all know me around here. Totally broken. I have no problem with Nevada DOT, and they don't have a problem with me. Oh, I need to catch my breath. I still have endurance and stamina, even though I'm smoking cigarettes. How's everyone's natural endurance and stamina? So Agape and I's room was the one, right up above the staircase right here, that one right there. And I was very fortunate to get a room by ourselves and with Lil Randall, because we were over here. And, you know, we're not all here for the same reasons. And that's okay, too, because it took me 41 years old, almost 42, to get sober, right? But I was a good person. So I kept the blind down all the time. And, of course, you could hear through the windows. And Scott Centers would go through, well, his number one accomplice, at least when it came to me on the phone, okay, and say when he was dropping things off, and he pulled up in his Maserati with Alaska plates, right, and you're supposed to switch it within 30 days, and that Maserati so he brought poisoned dog food, dog treats, clothes for Agape, Sour Patch Kids for myself, my favorite candy, Marlboro Reds that I didn't even, and I've already said this, that I wasn't even smoking then, a bikini, right, that was too small, children's. Then it was 4th of July weekend or something, and I didn't know he was coming. So I'm here on my bicycle, okay, I'm here on my bicycle going out like this, riding to a meeting at the Keeping It Real Club, okay, and I see him, and I'm almost in shock a little bit, so he zips out of here, perfect timing, and there's good people in here, perfect timing, different security guards, zips out of here and calls Nike and thought I was drinking and coming to his car on the bicycle he dropped off here that he bought me at Target with me years ago when for my first DUI. Of course I could have gotten a DUI, right, at Resolutions. Thank God my rich mother paid for this. How much was it? Over 100,000 K. What did you say to me? No shit. It's private property. Is the white trash fake BH here out here trying to strut her stuff with her e-cigarette? Private property. I'm the most famous person that will ever go here, voluntary or not. Chirp, chirp. It's Maria Athens. Scott Center's bringing all those intoxications in here, right? For myself, my service dog, and a Cabbage Patch Kid. How many people have died in here lately? Oh, he's on his phone. He's somebody. And this place was run very well when I went here. And it's not like the top, any staff or who I don't know runs it can be here 24/7. What is this? A safety elastic suspension guard? Step 1 is my resolution for life. I can always hear the Tobin Motor black Maserati of my forever fiance pull up. I never went there, right? He could come in here and my health institution, right? And drop off poison. I would like to add, I also didn't shit in here for the whole time I was here. Not even once. And whatever anti-anxiety drug I was put on, like I said, if you show up in rehab for the right reasons, we do need sleeping aids, even if you're just an alcoholic or whatnot, for a couple days, okay? I took it for a month or 2 or 6 weeks, and I threw it down, my toilet bowl and flushed it. But they didn't care because I was private pay. That no name nothing. You don't want me to give you my story to encourage others to get sober? And I did think of it. I was so naive, right? I would have done everything for free. I could have been your spokesman, but not for my own notoriety, maybe a little for free and everything. You never wanted to hear my story? Thank you, Desert Hope, for helping to safeguard Clark County. I'm Maria Athens for News 25 Television, Las Vegas. And I will say, I didn't preemptively think of the questions or anything. Oh, they were all ready, right? Because I did love the food. I did. The butterscotch pudding was really good. I'm not some foodie or somebody that emotionally eats. I'm not. So that fat bitch was in there, a fake clinical director with her licensures, talking about, well, the food's really good. And you know what I did think too? When I was there, the staff was loading up on all the food. So I would say, could I have another pudding? No, they're reserved for the staff. And I was thinking, we're paying for this. So she's talking about the good food, service dog, and that's sometimes the only thing people have. What is that supposed to mean? And the family sessions, it was in COVID. And I didn't want any of my family members visiting me, even the good ones at that time, talking about Nellis really loves the gym. What about other people that love the gym, are real athletes? Well, am I smarter and slicker than the robot they tried to make out of me? And my animals that's already well infiltrated somewhere? Of course I am. I cracked their code. But they don't stop disgusting people. Oh, you want a cigarette? Ooh, going like this. I didn't make fun of that funeral parlor. They've seen me roll through there with the goppy. Oh, maybe it's the last retro thing around. Very funny. So all these things are almost about to hit me, right? And like Ace says, don't kick the can down the road. You might drink again. Oh no. Litter. So I don't talk to myself this much. I can compartmentalize things with respect to LVMPD police officers. I can. And I have lived down here. Now this is the second time by choice, kind of, that I've lived in Las Vegas, downtown. Ward 5, District 6. First on, Washington, and now on 11th, Cross Street Stewart. Now I didn't go out at night that much. I didn't. And usually when I'm down here, I am preoccupied with all my service dogs, Happy and Agape, she's 21 in the afterlife, and work. And Lil Randall loves LVMPD. What are you doing? Well, specifically, why are you recording, this block of the street here? So you're not a journalist, I'm positive. I'm a real one.
You talking to me? Are you talking to me?
So why are you in Las Vegas recording our police force. I'm Maria Athens, the one and only Sin City, you disgusting MF. Do you know Scott Centers? Lil Randall loves LVMPD. I know. Thank God LVMPD, Evidence Vault, EV acronym, moved Lil Randall Centers for 8 months. And I think, don't quote me or them, 1,500 items are new in the Evidence Vault each month. Lil Randall. And he does want to go on a ride along. But like I said, Lil Randall's resting, and he will always be in the U.S. Armed Forces. He's never going to retire. But he does want an LVMPD onesie. He's a size newborn. So this specimen, I don't know if it was half alien or half human, I believe was taunting LVMPD right here at, well, it's a dusk. Nice night here, 11 seconds more. Going northbound on Casino Center past, I don't say the Fremont Street Experience, I just say, well, Fremont Street or downtown, taunting them, but of course it's their constitutional right. So I said, you have nothing better to do with this stupid little handheld on his phone with the fake, like, you know, graphics of that it's centered and everything. So I did what the poll go, oh, Scott Centers. And I said, have a great Sunday. Love Ethan Berkowitz, Scott Centers, Bill Fielder, and Minoj from Newsnet take a 5-hour energy hit. Yeah, they really messed up. With me anyway. I was supposed to be dead and completely robotized. And my 3 service animals. And I like nighttime. I really do out here. I do. And me crying right now that Scott Centers did all of this to Happy and Kalamata Tula Athens because, well, we're still alive, you know, and I love this museum too. And like I said, all these people in here try to be cool, but there's really cool stuff in here. And also, if you're a hitman or a mobster and the whole thing, I think the commercial's good too. And it's, but you can't be in the sun all the time. It's Sunday night, the last night and day of May 2026. I see you all the time. What is your name? I'm Maria.
Bill.
Bill?
Bill.
Why are you out
Bill,
here?
Bill.
You've got pizza in a Ziploc. Or bread.
Bill Hall.
How much are you getting paid to be out here?
I don't know how much you get paid.
Nothing. How much are you getting paid to listen to my every move?
I don't want to listen to your every move.
I'll see you later. I bought, well, 2 of the same brand, this brand, and it said that. I've never noticed that before. And of course, the high-tech tippity top are all over my illegally. They're illegally on all of my shit. So I'm glad I went out, you know, memory delayed, kind of. Went west on Stewart, busted a right, got into the cultural corridor, up Main, and so much about American Addiction Centers and so much more. And then I saw some moron thinking he was high-tech with his phone and his little plastic holder to, well, video and audio myself and LVMPD. It's still the last day of May 2026. Tha Καλό Μήνα.